Hey, what's going on, Z Nation? Zaid here, ZSPN, and welcome to the Lakers post-game show on ZSPN on YouTube. And today, guys, we're going to be talking about the Los Angeles Lakers versus the Dallas Mavericks tonight. Unfortunately for the Los Angeles Lakers, they couldn't capitalize on this win against the Mavericks tonight, and as a result, the Lakers lose to the Mavericks, and now they're on their 3-game losing streak. Now, comparing to the matchup against the Pelicans last time, this game in particular, I have to say, when it came to the second half, the Lakers came back and they showed effort when it came to the third quarter, from shooting and just all across the board. I mean, the Lakers really showed up when it came all matters most in the third quarter, and then going into the fourth quarter in the beginning. I mean, they were just leading it up by, I think, maybe 4 or 6 points at one point. But unfortunately, the story of the Lakers, they could not capitalize on this win, and they lose to the Mavericks in convincing fashion. And there's just no cure to the Los Angeles Lakers to win any games moving forward when it comes to their struggles as of late, guys. And before I get into more details of this game and give you all my analysis for the Lakers' future moving forward into the season, please be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, share my videos all over Facebook, Twitter, all the good social media stuff. And of course, like always, please be sure to like my page on Facebook, ZSPN, and also follow me on Instagram and Twitter at ZSPN. I really do appreciate the love and support you guys give me all across social media, and of course on this channel, ZSPN on YouTube. I'll leave the links to my social media sites in the description of this video so you guys can check out my social media sites. And of course, guys, subscribe to the channel and subscribe to my podcast, ZSPN on Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Radio Public, all those great podcast distributions out there. It's basically the same content that I give on YouTube, only you can listen to me on podcast now on the go. So I really do appreciate you showing me the love support there, and of course on this channel and all of my social media sites. So much appreciated. Just have to put that out there to put the word out and the support for you guys giving me the love support is just so overwhelmingly, and I do appreciate it. But getting back to the Lakers loss, obviously the Lakers struggled in the first half, especially in the second quarter. At one point, the Mavericks did, at the end of the second quarter, led, I believe, by, I might be mistaken, I think it was somewhere around 15 points at maybe at the end of the second quarter. I knew that it was like 71 to 51, some sort of results of the second quarter. But for surprisingly, and this is what the Lakers usually do when it comes to third quarter situations, especially from LeBron James, who leads the Lakers tonight with 24 points. When it comes down to it, they came back, as I said. So when it came down to it, the shooting efforts was well known throughout the third quarter, from Stanley Johnson, from Malik Monk, and even from LeBron James, who shot from the logo and obviously took the lead after that when it came down to the third quarter. I believe the Lakers at the end of the third quarter were up by, I believe, 3 or maybe it was like 2 points at one point into the game. And it really looked like the Lakers were going to turn things around. And as I mentioned, when it came to the fourth quarter, they continued on that. But when it came down to the 6 minutes left into the game, the Mavericks just came out of nowhere and just took back the lead, and they were being very competitive against the Lakers. And as I said from the beginning, when it came down to the last game against the Pelicans, which was embarrassing, the Lakers basically quit on Lakers Nation. And, when it came down to that, it was a bad game all around. I can't really think of the top of my head about some disappointing matchups when it came to this season, but this one ranks in the top 5 when it comes to disappointing losses for this Lakers team this season, and especially when it comes to winnable ones. So when it came down to that, this time around, the Lakers, they showed effort. Let's be honest, okay? The Lakers showed effort in the second quarter. No, excuse me, the second half. And when it came down to that, they showed effort, but they just couldn't capitalize. And that's the issue for the Lakers ever since. I mean, for some reason, the Lakers, when it comes to playing wise, they have the capabilities of pulling it off, but unfortunately, they just can't capitalize. For some reason, they can't, especially when it comes to fourth quarter situations. And guys, I'm going to say this now, and it really hurts me when I say this. Even though the Lakers have a chance of reaching the playoffs or maybe the play-in tournament, if the Lakers keep this up, it's not going to happen. I really think that if the Lakers continue this route that they're on and not perform to the best of their abilities and capitalize on key winnable situations, especially when it comes to this one, then I have to say, the Lakers will not even make it to the play-in tournament. I'm sorry, Lakers Nation. I mean, I had to put it out there. I mean, I'm a Lakers fan. I'm a diehard Laker fan, but I don't want to be in denial when it comes to the situation with the Lakers and what they're in. So when it comes down to that, it's really disappointing to see this Lakers team the way they are. They continue to lose games in key situations, and even though they have the capability of pulling it off, but for some reason, they just can't. They can't capitalize on a win. And this one in particular is a heartbreaking loss for the Lakers when it comes down to it. And they're on their 3-game losing streak. And it's very disappointing when it comes to how the Lakers are performing as of late. So when it comes down to it, I mean, could the Lakers turn things around? It's questionable at the moment, even though the Lakers signed DJ Augustine yesterday after waiving DeAndre Jordan. So when it comes down to it, maybe things will change, but, still remains to be seen about that because we're not sure what DJ Augustine could bring to the table. Can he bring that 38% shooter that he is, or can he be that facilitator for the second unit, being the second option in the second unit behind Russell Westbrook? I mean, it still remains to be seen. And, this is just came to me when it comes to his signing. He has a history of, having been coached by Frank Vogel during his times in Indiana and in Orlando. So there's some history, and I think DJ Augustine knows the system under Frank Vogel. So when it comes down to that, maybe things will start to turn around, but, still remains to be seen about that. So hopefully with DJ Augustine, maybe he will live up to expectations, but, he still hasn't played yet as a Laker, so still remains to be seen about that. Maybe the next game that we will probably see his debut as a Laker, but, we just have to wait and see about that. So, but yeah, guys, other than that, I mean, I really want to know your thoughts. I'm going to keep this video short because this is just an obvious type of analysis when it comes to the Lakers as of late. You know what? Let me just actually get into the stats wise. I have to say, I have to commend on some players out there tonight that stepped up to the plate. Obviously, LeBron James had 24 points. He was really the game changer alongside Malik Monk and Stanley Johnson when it comes to the shooting efforts from the third quarter that really turned things around in the second half. And we have to commend those particular players, especially Carmelo Anthony for the second unit off the bench. He gave us 20 points out there. And, if you notice from that third quarter performance, it was just mind-blowing how the Lakers turned things around in the third quarter. I mean, you can check the stat line, guys. I mean, the Lakers from LeBron went 3 of 5 from the three. Then, I believe Malik Monk also went 3 of 5 from the three, and Stanley Johnson as well. And I believe, what's his name? Excuse me. Carmelo Anthony went, I believe, I believe he went 3 of 6 from the three. So the efforts when it comes to shooting wise, the Lakers showed up when it came to that. So other than the fourth quarter debacle where the Lakers couldn't capitalize on a win in that particular moment, the third quarter was the best that I have ever seen from the Lakers. So far this season when it comes to turning a game around. But we saw a couple of times the Lakers do step up in the third quarter, but not like the way I saw the third quarter situation. So just have to put that out there. I mean, there were some Lakers tonight stepped up to the plate, but unfortunately they just couldn't capitalize on this win. So other than that, guys, I really want to know your thoughts about it. I mean, please give me your thoughts about the Lakers' performance against the Dallas Mavericks. Do you guys agree with my analysis that the Lakers really show some effort in the second half, especially in the third quarter? Or do you think the Lakers were just bad overall? Guys, I'm not going to say that, the Lakers would turn things around after this point. I'm not trying to say that at all because it's so questionable at this moment, and the Lakers have been questionable this season so far. So I gave my criticisms when it comes to the Lakers as of late. But this one in particular, we had to give the Lakers some flowers when it comes to the third quarter. So just have to put that out there. And when it came down to it, maybe, as I said, with DJ Augustine being added to the Lakers roster, could things turn around? It still remains to be seen. And you never know. The Lakers could potentially move on, maybe go after someone else in the buyout market because they still have until March 3rd or maybe March 5th when it comes to waiving somebody or signing somebody. I mean, that's where I haven't really checked the deadline, but, judging what I've been hearing from certain analysts, that the Lakers have maybe 3 days until make some sort of move in the buyout market. But I know they made one with DJ Augustine. But if I'm the Lakers and they have another opportunity to get somebody, I would go after another big man. But it still remains to be seen who is still out there that could maybe help the Lakers when it comes to turning things around. But still remains to be seen at the moment. And yeah, guys, I just want to put that out there and I want to hear you all's thoughts and opinions about this Lakers loss against the Dallas Mavericks. And please, guys, show me the love and support all across social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at ZSPN_sports. I'll leave the links to my social media sites in the description of this video so you guys can check out my social media sites. And of course, guys, subscribe to the channel and subscribe to my podcast. I'll leave the link to that also in the description. So I really do appreciate the love support that you guys give me all across social media and of course on this channel, ZSPN on YouTube. And I'll see you all in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Excuse me. Whoa. Excuse me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Go Lakers. Take it easy, guys. Stay safe out there. I need to get some water, so take it easy, guys.